everyone! So as you can guess by the title of this video, I'm filming one of my most requested videos ever, and that is going to be all about my tattoos and piercings. Now I'm definitely more of a tattoo girl than a piercings girl. I was never kind of into that stage of getting everything pierced when I was a teenager like a lot of my friends were, but I do have quite a few tattoos now, so I'm going to run you through kind of why I got them, what they mean to me, how I decided on the placement. I'll try and remember how much they cost and if they hurt, and yeah, just basically run you through all of them. So I have 6 tattoos now. I love them all so much. I think that when you get a tattoo they really become part of you and part of who you are. So in that sense I think it's really difficult to kind of go off the tattoos that you have because they are you, if that makes sense. That's my viewpoint on it anyway. So I'm going to run through them in no particular order. I might start on this side of my body because they're kind of over either side. So my most recent tattoo, which I got 3 weeks ago now, not long ago at all, is on my left inside foot. It's the word Ingenue, which is one of my absolute favourite songs by a band called Atoms for Peace. I'll leave a link to the song in the down bar if you want to listen to it, but the song is just everything. I can't express how beautiful and odd and just atmospheric it is to me, and the music video that goes with it I just was obsessed with for a very, very long time. I decided to get that word. I've wanted this tattoo for a couple of years now. As well as the song, I found out that the word ingenue is actually quite apt for me. I like the word a lot, and it basically, I'm on the Google dictionary. The ingenue is a character in film or theatre, generally a girl or a young woman who is endearingly innocent and wholesome. Typically the ingenue is beautiful, kind, gentle, sweet, and often naive in emotional or mental danger. She's kind of like the damsel in distress in a lot of films and theatre roles. And I do act a lot myself, so that whole word, I love it. I love it. So the pain was bad. The foot is probably the most painful part of the body to get tattooed because there is no fat on there at all. It's just bone and veins and ugh. So it took about 20 minutes to do in total, and it was quite painful, more towards the kind of sole of my foot than the top. I am really ticklish with my feet as well anyway, so that didn't help, but it was over really quickly, and I'm actually going to go and get it retouched a tiny bit as well, just because the lines are a little bit too faint for me. I want them a little bit stronger. So that is the ingenue. I also love the placement because it fits perfectly in between my favourite shoes. So when I was trying to decide on the placement, I tried on every single pair of shoes that I had just to make sure it looked nice in all of them, and it does. So I'll insert some clippage of my shoes in action. So the next tattoo on this side is one of my favourite quotes. Now if you know me, you will know I'm a complete bookworm. I adore books, and so this is a quote from one of my favourite books, which is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. The quote reads, "A morbid longing for the picturesque at all costs." It pretty much sums me up entirely. I am obsessed with like morbidity and death and serial killers and detectives and all things kind of morbid and nasty. It sounds weird, but that is me. And being a photographer, I am always looking for the picturesque in every situation. So that sentence I think it's on the first page of the book, and the book's amazing, by the way. You should definitely go and read it. It's one of my favourites. Yeah, that sentence just really stood out to me, and I decided to get it done just below my knicker line on my left thigh. I love thigh tattoos. I think I'm going to get more in the future. My next tattoo is definitely going to be a big thigh piece, so stick around if you want to see that. So by the way, I had ingenue done in Brick Lane at a tattoo shop called Cloak and Dagger, and I had the quote done. It was a tattoo shop on the Southend seafront. I can't quite remember what it was called, but if I find out I'll put a link to it below. And I can't really remember if it was that painful. I don't think it was. I think I'd remember if it was that bad, but I seem to remember it took about 25 minutes as well. They don't take too long. Also, I should say now that all of my tattoos are black and white. I'm not a big fan of colour tattoos. I just like to keep them quite plain and simple. It's just my It's just a style that I seem to have kind of decided upon on myself. I think the thigh one as well cost about £100. And so then the one above that, it was the second tattoo I ever got, I think when I was 19. It's a bunch of roses. There isn't much meaning behind it apart from that I just thought it was really pretty and I wanted a tattoo on my hip, kind of a saucy little tattoo that no one really knew about. So yeah, that was my second one when I was 19. Again, I remember it hurting a lot on hip bone. When it went over that area, that really hurt, but apart from that, it was fine. The pain is always worth it in my opinion and is never that bad. Like, I've never wanted to be like, oh stop this is too much. So I think, I guess I have quite a high pain threshold. Yes, the roses, black and white. This was done at a tattoo store called Chameleon in Dagenham by the guy that did my first ever tattoo as well. His name was Ivan. I love my roses. I like that they peek out above bikini bottoms, and yeah, they're just pretty. I'd like to add on to them one day. I don't know what yet. Right. Oh, and then this one. Okay, so this was, I got this last year. Andrew! So I decided to get Andrew in for this part of the video because we both have our moon tattoos, which
matching.
I love. I never thought I'd get a matching tattoo with someone.
Me either. I never thought I'd get a tattoo full stop. So this is a big deal for me.
Yeah. And
so, yeah.
What did you think of the pain, Andrew?
It's pretty intense, but it was cool. It was alright. It's alright. It's like a little sort of. It's like an annoying cat just at you.
It is. I'm not gonna lie. Tattoos are painful, but they're worth it because you get something at the end, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Just for like what, 10 minutes of pain, it's a lifetime of gain.
It's like the only other pain that you're gonna have where you gain something at the end is childbirth.
I was going to say like a baby.
Yeah, but in this case you get a little tattoo baby to look after until it's healed for a couple of weeks.
I've never thought of this as my offspring.
We've got the moon with the thing facing a certain way, so it is the waxing moon. So
waxing moon, so it's the new moon, means new beginnings, new starts, fresh starts, new life, reborn. New life. Together. Absolutely.
And we also like the story I Love You to the Moon and Back.
Oh yeah, we'll leave a link in the down bar to that. It's a story about a daddy hare and a baby hare.
It's really cute.
They're having a competition about how much they love each other, and there's the little punchline at the end is about... No, you'll see. Read it. I love you to the moon and back, so we always say that, and I always call you my moon. Moon face. Oh yeah, the pervy moon from the emoticons. The pervy moon is my favourite emoji. It's pretty brilliant. Pervy moon emoji. Can I go back to playing piano now? Yeah, is there anything else you want to say about tattoos? Yeah, get one. Especially if you're under 18. Andrew! Okay, you're going Get some fake ID or something. I don't know. Would you get another one? Yeah, maybe one day. Okay. Yeah, I'll get another one day. Get my name on your forehead. Only if it's a paid advertorial tattoo like Drake. I'll just walk around with Snooksy on my forehead. And a subscribe button. Click it to subscribe. I know, I'll have the subscribe button on my arse. Andrew! Like Snooksy, subscribe here. Get your ass out now and then I'll do an annotation on it. Alright. Bye now. Okay, bye now. That is all about the moon. Next we have this side of the body, which is on my back. I have one of my favourite lyrics, which is from the Smiths song called Handsome Devil. I'm a massive fan of Morrissey and the Smiths. I was brought up listening to his music rather than Elvis or anyone. I was brought up listening to Morrissey. This quote is also a little homage again to books and how much I love books. So the quote is, "There's more to life than books, you know, but not much more." Which sounds a little bit depressing, but it's not. It just shows that books are a great way of escaping from reality, and they can completely kind of alter your mood, and so sometimes they can be a little bit better than reality depending on what you're going through at that particular time. But there is more to life than books, you know, but not much more. And I got this on my back, justified to the left or the right, I can't ever remember because I'm all backwards, but I got it justified to one side so that it sits a bit nicer and looks a bit neater. I chose the lower back on one side because I don't... tramp stamps, you know, in the centre of the back, I'm not a massive fan of those, so I wanted a back tattoo but not in the centre, so that's why I got it to the side. I love the placement of this one. I think it's probably
my favourite tattoo placement, as well as the quote on my thigh. It's just a bit unusual, I think. I also got this done in Chameleon in Dagenham, and he said, the tattoo artist said, it was like writing on a grain of rice, because I wanted it really, really small, and he was like, this might bleed and fade a little bit. Bleed not as in blood bleed, as in the ink might start kind of fading as time goes on, but I will get it retouched. So I love the size of it, I love the font, I chose that especially, and yeah, I love that tattoo very, very much. Pain wise, I don't think it was that bad, because there's quite a lot of fat on the back part of my kind of upper bottom. And I think it probably cost £120 in the region of. And then we have one more tattoo, which was the first one I ever got on my 18th birthday. It is my foot tattoo, and it's a love heart with wings on it. I got this in homage to my grandma, who passed away when I was a little girl. She's still a massive part of our lives, and she's actually why we have an annual Snooks family tradition, so I'll tell you about that now. So on the date of my grandma's death day, the day she passed away, which is April the 20th, me and the whole entire Snooks family go and get something done to our bodies, which is a really weird tradition, but it's kind of a thing to her. My mum always jokes that she would hate it, and so it's a little dig at her for leaving us, and also it reminds us of her as well. So I think most of my tattoos were actually got on that day every single year, if that makes sense. So Ingenue was done the day before it, because that day was a Monday this year. Pretty much all of them, apart from my 18th birthday one, was done on or around her death day. So one year my mum went and got a tattoo when she was a bit tipsy on her ankle. A year before that, my mum and dad both went and got their belly buttons pierced. A year before that, my mum got her first ever tattoo. So now it's kind of a Snooks family tradition. So when I got Ingenue on my foot, then my dad, my sister and my mum also all got tattoos at the same time, on the same day in the same place, by the same person. Not the same tattoo, but yeah, all together. So that's just a little sneak peek about Snooks family. The wings on the foot, I had, like, as it was my first tattoo, I had nothing to compare the pain to. I remember it being quite painful, and I remember my sister saying that my face was pretty much bright red. My face and neck were bright red the whole way through it, because it was, I must have been suffering a little bit. Also with tattoos, especially my foot ones, I tend to twitch a little bit, like my leg will just twitch, and that's annoying. It's kind of an unwanted reaction that your body makes about the pain, but I remember my leg twitching quite a lot when I had this one done. And this took, I think, about half an hour. I love the shading on it. It's really difficult because I've had it for so long now. I've had it for like nearly 10 years. Kind of want to add something to it now. I'm not sure what, I don't know how I would do that, but I kind of want to develop on it a little bit more, because it was a design I found and paid for on the internet at the time. And so I just kind of chose it and was like, yeah, I want that one. I didn't really put much thought into it, except for that, oh, this is for my grandma. So yeah, so that was my first ever tattoo. Piercings wise, I had both of my ears pierced when I was 1 year old. I had my ears pierced a second time, one up, when I was probably about 17. I don't wear jewellery though, that's the thing. I don't know why I did it. You will watch all of my videos and I just don't wear jewellery. I don't wear earrings, I don't wear necklaces, I don't wear bracelets. I'm not a jewellery kind of girl. There are girls that pull off jewellery so well, but I'm just not one of those. So there was really no point in me getting my ears pierced. Like, they're still definitely open, because sometimes I just stab an earring through. Not stab it through, that sounds a bit violent, but I'll just pop it through just to make sure they're still open, just in case one day I do want to wear earrings. But yeah, and then I also have my belly button pierced, and I did that, I think I must have been 17, and it hurt a lot because I was quite tiny at the time, and the woman couldn't get enough kind of skin and enough fat between the kind of the bit that she pierced. So I remember her like proper yanking it through. This is not making belly piercing sound very nice, but I remember it being quite traumatic. I don't really change the bar much, to be honest. I used to have a dangly one and it got caught on everything all the time, so I couldn't be bothered for that, so now I've just got a plain stud. So that is my tattoos and piercings. I really hope I've kind of gone into enough detail about them all here. If you've got any questions, do let me know. I'll try and reply to all of them. In fact, I will reply to all of them. Maybe I'll film a tattoos Q&A video on more depth about the pain or the price or anything you want. Don't forget to give this video don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and I will be back soon. Bye guys!